I'm pleased to be joined by Dr. Stephen Carnevale, who is the Assistant Professor of Supply Chain Management at RIT. Dr. Carnevale, thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we say supply chain management. We're talking about the supply chain and its impact on COVID-19. Let's start there by sort of, in the simplest of terms, defining what the supply chain is and what type of impact we're seeing right now.
So a supply chain in general is all the set of processes going from raw material delivered to final product. So you can take any product you want, everything that goes into manufacturing, sourcing, planning, storing, and then ultimately delivering and getting that out to the consumer or to a business. So the impact right now that we're seeing on that set of processes, well, it's quite a bit, as a matter of fact. You know, a great example is the food supply chain. Right now, when we look around and we see livestock manufacturers or slaughterhouses and things like that, there's reports coming from around the country that these particular facilities are going offline because of the COVID-19 impact on the workers there. And so it almost is a bottleneck to the agricultural and meat supply chain.
In terms of the middleman, and by that I mean sort of getting the product, whatever it may be, from point A, the point of origin, to our house, point B, how is that being impacted by COVID-19?
Well, that's a really interesting question, actually, because, and it's all driven by the way that people respond in terms of their purchasing behavior to that kind of a crisis. You can generalize all of this into what we call the bullwhip effect, and it's really easy to visualize, right? If you take a bullwhip and you crack it, in the beginning, you're going to see some small little ripples that'll happen, but then as it goes out towards the end, you see a huge magnified increase. What ends up happening is when we go to the retail store and we buy everything we can, the demand increases, and of course the retailer is going to go back to the wholesaler and say they need more. Wholesaler goes back to the manufacturer, and then you've got to think of all these different retailers doing the same exact thing. So it really multiplies the effect as it goes upstream in the supply chain.
The prevailing question these days is one we'll finish with here. When and how do we get back to normal as it relates to the supply chain?
I think I'd be remiss if I were to give a date with anything, but I think what you're seeing is that there's a very strong resilience in the agricultural and consumer goods supply chain, and that if policies were put into place to mitigate these risks, then this should be a hiccup rather than an extended price hike. But I think we should strap in and continue to get ready for what might be a bit of a chaotic summer.
And hold on to all the sanitizer we can. Dr. Carnevale, thank you for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.